Hey guys, if you really like this episode, please support our podcast by going to talkmurder.com/join and becoming a Talko Supremo. All right, guys, this case is really heartbreaking. A 5-year-old girl playing on her scooter one summer day just vanishes in broad daylight, only to be found 11 days later dead by 2 fishermen. The reason that I wanted to research and record this story for you guys is because this case is unsolved, but that's not because the puzzle pieces are missing. They're just scattered all over the place. So with your help, we could start fitting these pieces together, bringing justice to the innocent and condemnation to the monster that was responsible.
Welcome to this taco special of Talk Murder to Me. Remember we used to do the radio voice, Jen? Your jazzy voice.
Jazzy voice. Yeah, that's when John used to play the
radio.
Well, tonight isn't a taco special. It's an unsolved mystery.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, cool.
We got such a good response from the Missy Beavers case that I decided to do another
Ooh. Similar?
brain scratcher.
Dun dun dun.
Brain scratcher. That just like feels weird in my head when you say that.
So, Talkos Primos, you can now access the forum through your Facebook. You can log in through your Facebook. All right, so guys, we have a brand new Talko Supremo in the house tonight.
Yeah.
Chuck from New Hampshire,
Welcome, Chuck. Glad to have you.
but living in Phoenix, Arizona.
Sweet.
I've been to Phoenix, Arizona, Chuck.
I've never been to Arizona, but I heard it's hot, but it's not. I've heard that it's a dry heat.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Which kind of sounds like gross, but I also like. I don't know, not gross. I know it feels better than being humid, but when you say dry heat, it makes me think of dry heave.
Yeah. I mean, my mom, they went to, last year they went to Sedona and they, like, everyone's like, yeah, it's a dry heat, but it was like 112. And so it was still really effing hot.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun times in your neck of the woods, Chuck. A lot of drunken days. Anyway, thank you so much for joining, Chuck. He says, hi, guys. I love 3 times. He says it 3 times.
We love
this
you too.
podcast, I'm actually a fairly new listener to podcast altogether and have listened to a bunch of different true crime ones, but you guys got my attention from the first time I heard you. I am completely hooked and hope to support you for years to come. That is amazing. Thank you so much.
It was awesome chatting with you today via the Instagram messages.
Yeah, I am from, this is what Chuck says, I am from NH, New Hampshire, so I love hearing Jen and Nicole talk about locations in Mass. My family is from Mass, so I'm familiar with most of the locations that you guys talk about. Well, Chuck, you should definitely, if you're in the area, come to our live show.
Yes. Chuck, if you go home,
if you go
visit
home.
some people.
No pressure.
August 8th.
So welcome to the forum and welcome to being a Talko Supremo. We really appreciate your support. It really goes a long way. I really don't want to have to sell mattresses and socks.
Yeah.
So,
we've been approached, guys. We've been approached.
We actually thought about selling a mattress.
I mean, if you guys want to buy a mattress, just let us know. We'll give you a code so we can get a little moolah for it. But, otherwise, meh.
Probably a good mattress, too.
Puffy mattress.
Puffy.
Brought to you by
Puffy.
P. Diddy.
Puffy.
I think of the Stay Puft
super
Marshmallow.
freaking comfortable.
I think all of those mattresses are really the same, though.
The ones that you open the box and it comes undone.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that we got. We got a Lisa, and I mean, I love it. I did a lot of research on it. I don't know if Puffy was around when I bought the Lisa mattress.
How would you describe your mattress? I've never sat on your mattress or anything. I will admit, like,
It's
most
a
You
bed.
can.
Oh, no, I'm all set because up until, like, very recently, like, meaning, like, when I was staging the house recently, I was like, oh, no, it's like John and Nicole's room. This is their sanctuary. Like, do not enter.
I mean,
There's
I think it's a very comfortable bed.
There's a sex swing hanging up.
Ew.
That's not true.
Gross. There's a spin bike, but that's about as
Yeah.
far
a
as
spin
that
bike.
exercise goes.
You know what that means.
Yeah,
We
torture. I
exercise.
hate spin. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't like it. I don't like spin. I don't like
You should
yoga.
just get your
Spin.
bike fixed then.
I know. I need to get a new valve because I accidentally bent the valve when I was putting air in the tire.
So, also we have a voicemail that came in from a Taco Supremo the other day
About one of our favorite episodes of all time.
of the Clur episode.
Claire.
That's probably, if you haven't heard the Clur episode,
which is really Kyler.
Kyler
but that's
episode.
okay.
Tyler
It's
used.
actually really funny. It's probably one of our greatest.
Yeah, I thought it was very well done.
I was
actually.
cracking up, man.
Hi guys, it's Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
Just listen to the Kyler Yust, however you say his last name. Who cares? He's a dumb mofo. But anyway,
Agreed.
just listen to that episode. So I figured I would record a quick message for you guys. I was taking notes during it because, you know, Belton, where I was born and raised, good old Missouri. So yeah. I promise the police are way better nowadays. That was a long time ago.
That's good.
And they're actually really funny on Facebook. I'm going to say rip Popeyes. Sorry, John.
Popeyes is no
now a
more.
Domino's Pizza.
Oh,
What?
well, just
And
there.
then-
Just there.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
she
I
says,
had a heart.
no, rip Popeyes there. Like RIP Popeyes, like it's gone. It's now a Domino's. Just there.
Okay.
There's plenty of
I-
Popeyes down here, guys. Don't worry
I
about it.
literally was having a
Yeah.
panic attack.
You know, Kyler. Sounds like killer if you say it a different way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Also, dead inside with laughter. That you guys had to differentiate between KCMO and KCK again. I mean, there's a huge difference if you break it down. KCMO is way bigger than KCK. Also a lot nicer. KCK is a little sketchy.
Huh.
Interesting. We did not provide us
In
this
terms
information
of the
before.
cat, he can burn for that. I love cats.
Yeah,
And that was
fucked
terrible. I wanted to cry.
up. Agreed.
Anyway. And then to Jen, when you're talking about your little fun names, I prefer the term douchewaffle.
Oh,
It's a lot more fun.
douchewaffle. Okay.
I
And
like
then
that.
Sounds
to
good,
Hard
yeah.
labor as punishment. Nah. If my dad, or if I was murdered, my dad would just go kill that fucker. You know, casual. Midwestern hospitality, man.
What is that?
And
How's that
then
compared to
I
Southern
can neither
hospitality?
confirm nor deny if there are any more victims. I never heard of any more missing girls. So who knows? It was a great episode, so I'm really glad you guys did it because I was about to request it because that is literally my hometown.
Cool. You and Alicia must be super close.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
I wonder if you guys know each other, Alicia and
Yeah,
Lauren.
I know. That's
I mean, because
like,
Alicia went to the high school there.
yeah.
You guys,
you
maybe
guys,
I mean, if that's
could
her
have
hometown,
crossed paths at the Target.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's crazy.
wow.
So thanks, Lauren, for calling in.
Yeah, and thank
Yeah.
you, Alicia, for requesting that episode. That really was
Yeah.
one of my favorite episodes we've done.
And Tacos Primos, the voicemail number is on the forum. You can call in anytime you want, and we'll put you on the airwaves.
And as we've said, anyone can request a story, but we give our first and foremost precedent to our Taco Supremos. We do have an update on the Doodler.
Do-do-do-do.
So I called SFPD tip line, and I said I have this tip. So I have this address, and I looked up this guy.
Does it look like him?
I haven't seen I can't find a picture of the guy. I mean, the guy is old. He doesn't have Facebook or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to actually have to go there and verify it's the same guy. But
Are
anyway,
we taking a road trip to San Francisco now?
I called SFPD, gave him the address and the guy's name. Now, the guy, the cop or whoever answered the phone for the tip line, he was like, all right, hold on, let me get a piece of paper. I was like, all right, yeah, I'd like to submit a tip for the Doodler. You know, I have the address that may be the Doodler's address. And he says, how do you spell that? And I'm like, You guys just released this like 3 months ago, The Doodler. Do you guys not even know who that is? He's never even heard of it. I was like, you guys just re-released this in February.
They're not working very hard on
I
this.
was like, dude, and I was like, dude, you guys made such a big deal about this a couple months ago. Like, how do you not know this? So I had to spell The Doodler for the guy.
Well,
Anyway, he was like, do you want to remain anonymous? Because I told him the address. Do you want to remain anonymous? I was like, fuck no, because there's $100,000 at stake. So, like, he only wanted my name. I made him take my name, my phone number, and my address down. But anyway, he said he's submitting the report that he wrote to the Special Victims Homicide Unit, and supposedly they're going to call me.
Either way.
I'm going to call them probably in 2 weeks because I need to make sure my name is on that.
I would. If that pans out.
Yeah. And if anyone's from
We need
SFPD
that
listening, you know, if you guys catch him, I'm going to verify that address.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have it on record
And the name.
now.
You have the name.
Yeah, we have it on record, you know.
John Perry called on Tuesday.
Yeah, on Tuesday, right after.
Tuesday, the
Right before I.
Nope.
18.
18. I called on Tuesday right before I released the episode. Sorry, guys.
Well, we had to get there first.
All right, so tonight we are going to.
Is reward money taxed?
I don't know. I want it in a briefcase of crumpled
bills.
up ones.
It'd be a pretty large briefcase.
All right.
It'd be like a suitcase that you would have to check on an airline. Could you imagine if they had to check that on an airline and then somehow something happened to the plane?
That's why
and
you
it
would
fell
not
over?
check that. Also,
All right.
Just saying.
So let's get started with tonight's case. It's an unsolved murder mystery that's going to drive you guys up the freaking wall.
well, most
Now,
cases do.
Before we get started, I need to ask our third place Geography B
I wish
winner
I wasn't dubbed this.
a question
to
Too
yourself.
much pressure.
so she can orientate us to where we are going tonight.
I'm going to have to
So,
restudy up on my U.S. history.
Nicole, our third place Geography B winner, if I told you that Monroe, Michigan borders Lake Erie, what side of Michigan would it be on? North, south, east, or west?
Yes, what side of Michigan does Lake Erie border?
Yeah.
East.
And you're sure?
Like northeast. Like, yeah.
Northeast?
No, not northeast.
What do you think, Jen?
Northeast. Southeast. Northeast. Northeast.
I'm just saying east.
All right, well, the correct answer is southeast.
Damn it.
So, Jen, you win the fifth place.
Woo.
Geography B. So, Monroe.
Solidifying third. All right.
So, if you take your palm of your hand, that's what Michiganers do.
yeah.
They orientate themselves from their palm or their hand because the hand looks like Michigan.
Right.
On the very
Which
east,
hand? Our left hand or our right hand?
the thumb
Jen?
goes like this, Jen.
When you look it out.
yeah, so-
you're first of all, you're looking at your hands the wrong way.
Well, no, he said the palm of your hand. He said, look at the palm of your hand.
Okay, don't look at the palm of your hand.
Which hand? The left hand or the right hand?
Jen, hopefully you know what that that answer.
She doesn't.
Okay, it's the right hand.
Right.
If your palm is down, it's the
right.
right hand.
So, Monroe, Michigan. The reason I said that, guys,
Back
I
to
want
first.
to get you guys to know exactly where it's at. It's at the very bottom of Michigan to the east. Lake Erie borders Michigan right at the very south on the east side of Michigan there. And that's where we're going tonight. We're going to Monroe, Michigan. The slogan is Raising Expectations. And that's taken from the River Raisin, which we are going to be visiting tonight. Raisin, like the best fruit ever,
Raisin is not a fruit. A raisin is a dried grape.
which is a
raisin-
fruit.
But it is not a fruit on its own.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's a grape.
What are grapes? Vegetables?
No, grapes are fruit.
Okay. What's
it
a
is
raisin?
weird that
It's still a
raisins
fruit.
and prunes are separate names for the dried
But it's still a fruit.
What is a prune?
plum.
Are they not just prunes?
So
we have yet to cover them.
Monroe, Michigan.
Raisinets are really good.
Raising expectations. Now,
It's about truly raisin,
raisin.
not
With an apostrophe.
raising.
The river in Monroe, Michigan is called the River Raisin. Like a raisin, like the
Like
fruit.
the fruit.
Yeah.
Or like Raisin Cane.
The population is about 21,000 people, so it's pretty large. Now, this is 14 miles north of Toledo, Ohio, and 25 miles south of the best city in the world. No, I'm just kidding, Detroit. If you've ever been to Detroit,
Hey, no offense to our listeners up in that area.
there are plenty of houses for sale that you can buy in Detroit for about $800. If you do not believe me, go to Zillow. You will see all kinds of houses you can buy for about $800.
Well, that's because of the water crisis in Flint.
No, that's because the houses are literally dilapidated and full of squatters.
Oh.
And there's feces everywhere.
Well, that's a totally different issue.
Detroit is very interesting.
Motor City.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys know.
The Pistons were good at one point.
Yeah.
And the Red Wings.
It's a very sad thing
And the
that's going on
Tigers.
in Detroit right now. I mean, there's no jobs
And
there.
the Lions have just always been awful.
And the people are still there with no jobs. That's pretty much Detroit right now, and it's not getting any better.
Although the Patriots are having a joint practice with the Lions this summer during the preseason, so.
But there is a huge industry in Detroit, and that's doing very well right now, and that is
yeah?
the drug industry, and that is also going to come and play tonight.
All
because
right.
it's 25 miles from Monroe is 25 miles south of Detroit. This is a heavy drugged out city, and if anyone's from there, you can probably agree with me. And I'm actually going to read some people that are from there that will attest to these things I'm saying. Okay, so Monroe, Michigan is the home of Lazy Boy recliners.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, the celebrities born here, because I know what you guys want, include Christy Brinkley,
Okay.
Oh, cool.
the makeup girl, and she was on National Lampoon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
She's a model.
She was also once married to Billy Joel.
Oh, yes, Billy Joel.
She was also
Joel?
once married to Billy
Can you
Joel.
just loop that, please?
Joel.
Joel. Poem.
She
I
was,
just think it's an O-eat combination for you. You just don't know how to do it.
and also from there, a huge star, Nicole Paloon. Crickets.
Paloon?
She was on the very hit TV show 16 and Pregnant.
Oh, God.
She was
Also, Eminem's from Detroit.
she was 16 and pregnant. Yeah, Eminem's from 8 Mile. From that movie 8 Mile.
featuring Eminem.
Detroit's shitty. I'm sorry. People that are from there love it.
Well, of course, people will take pride in whatever city that they're from, usually.
Very sad.
If it makes you feel better,
No.
Detroitians, I'm from New Bedford, and a lot of people shit on New Bedford.
Not a lot of people know what
I've
New
never even
Bedford
heard of New
is.
Bedford.
New Bedford was once the richest city in the entire world. It has home to the whaling
In the
industry.
entire world.
Yes, look it up. Google it.
Oh, what about Atlantis?
That's a fictional city. New Bedford is real. We were home to the whaling industry.
What about the Rome?
Oh, so you guys killed whales?
They did.
That's what they do.
That's why when I'm out on the beach, I have to make sure everyone knows who I am, so they don't pull out
Well,
the
you better.
harpoons.
Oh my
Oh,
God, Jen, whatever. You're
Jen.
just fishing for compliments.
No.
Fishing. Jen, you better not be touching the whales. They have a protective coating on them.
I don't touch the whales.
So I've been trying to waste time and not start the story because, unfortunately, we are talking about a 5-year-old girl tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's very sad. Her name is Nevaeh. Now that's Nevaeh, and if you write it backwards, it spells heaven.
Oh, okay.
So this was Sunday, May 24th, 2009 in Monroe County. This is about 6:30 p.m., and I'm gonna put all the sources I use on talkmurder.com, so if you want to go there and read some of the newspaper articles about the story, if it really touches you, you can do that. This is the Charlotte Arms Complex apartment. She was outside playing with her friends. This was Memorial Day weekend, so school's out, nice weather, some almost the end of May. She's out on her scooter. This is according to CNN, July 6, 2010. Nevaeh was last seen the evening of May 24th playing in the U-turn driveway of her apartment complex. Quote from her mother, "She wasn't supposed to be outside. She was supposed to be upstairs at a neighbor's playing with her friend at their place." Buchanan said that her name is Nevaeh Buchanan, so Buchanan is the last name. Buchanan said that she searched for Nevaeh after another child tattled that she was playing outside. In fact, playing outside in the road with her scooter.
Oh.
Okay. She recalled the cold fear that gripped her when she found her daughter's tricycle abandoned at the edge of the property. Quote, "The sun was going down. It was almost 8 p.m., so I went looking for Nevaeh, but we couldn't find her." She vanishes from the apartment complex. The timeline varies from a lot of different people, so I'm going to go through what we know in a little bit, like more accurately. But just know now that she was playing outside the apartment complex, 6:30, all of a sudden, tricycle's empty, she's gone. Nevaeh was reported missing. Child interrogation services showed up to question the kids, and one child states that, quote, "The monster took Nevaeh." Now we're going to skip forward a little bit. We're going to June 5th, 2009. So we're going about 11 days later. She was abducted May 24th. Now it's June 5th, 2009. Okay. There were two fishermen out there. They were actually dad and son. Fisherman Guy Brickley and his father were out there fishing on the lake, and this is about 12 miles away from the apartment complex. And you guys probably know where this is going to go. The fisherman tells media sources that and I'm going to show you the picture of the embankment down towards the River Raisin. That's what's called the River Raisin. But it's a very steep embankment down the hill. Like you literally, once you see it, you'll be like,
cliff.
wow, how does the fisherman even get down there? It's literally, it's a cliff going straight down pretty much. But they walked down there, the two fishermen, and Guy Brickley tells media that as he was going to, sit on the soil there, the riverfront soil, it shifted, and then it was really loose, and then he noticed there were concrete chips everywhere, like concrete, not blocks, but like someone had poured the quick mix in there.
Yeah.
So there were chunks of concrete. He looks down, and the first thing he sees was about 3 inches of a child's back. Quote, "To me, it looked like 2/3 of a little back. Not only was a child in the hole, covered with dirt, it was also mixed with Quikrete cement mix.
Cement.
Cement mix. It was also mixed with cement. Fuck.
Cement.
Also in the hole was an empty beer can. So, all right, the killer, so
That
someone
could've been
killed
really
her.
sloppy.
Someone abducted her, took her down this embankment that you'd have to be in the area to know where this is. You'd have to be. You can't find this spot if you don't know the area, if you're just passing through. Goes down this little embankment carrying a bag of cement. However he got her down there, God dang it.
Just keep it. Go.
No, I'm going to change the word to
Concrete.
concrete. Sounds weird, but I'm going to say concrete just so people don't, All right, so you go down this embankment. The killer had to somehow get her down there carrying a bag of concrete, and somehow Nevaeh ended up in the dirt, and shockingly and awful as it is, the autopsy came out, and the official cause of death was asphyxiation from being buried alive.
Oh,
So she actually had dirt plugs in her nose.
oh.
This is from Detroit News, July 15th, 2009, if you want to read this.
The autopsy results have revealed that Nevaeh's death was caused by aspiration of dirt, according to a press release from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. This means that Nevaeh's face was forcibly maintained or embedded into the dirt surface. Whether this resulted from another person forcibly pressing her face into the dirt or whether she was buried alive could not be determined.
On top of the concrete that was poured all over her, and then the killer, just as another just fuck you, he throws a beer bottle in the damn hole in the grave with the girl.
I mean, was he stupid? Were they able to pull DNA off that bottle?
That's a good question. So DNA was recovered, but the suspect that it was matched to was cleared. So it was just a random guy that was there with his friends. They were drinking, having a campfire, and he just left his beer can out there. So the killer actually just picked up a random beer can off the ground and threw it in there. I don't know if he was trying to get the cops off his track or not, but it wasn't the guy.
Interesting
from the
that
DNA.
he wouldn't have left behind additional fingerprints with that beer can.
This is a post that I saw from someone that lives in the area. She says, I live less than a mile from the Charlotte Arms apartment complex, and there are some things in here that I didn't even know. She's talking about the post that was made. The part of the River Raisin that she was found was a locally known place, so it is highly likely that the perpetrator was also from the area. Also, just a little thing that probably doesn't mean anything, Charlotte Arms is located directly behind an elementary school. The only thing separating them is a chain-link fence, so it's just something to think about.
Huh, that's interesting.
A lot of the timeline story I'm going to give comes from an interview given by the third cousin. There are different recollections from different people about what happened this day, but I'm going to be pulling the timeline from the third cousin.
I have a question.
What?
Were the fishermen cleared?
Yeah, the fishermen were cleared, and it's actually very sad. Guy Brickley, I think he was like 55 at the time, and his father was like 72. They were fishing together. Guy finds the body. He knew that everyone was searching. I mean, it was actually during a 2-week search. So the fishermen knew. And not only that, to discover the body is horrific enough, but sadly, Guy, the fisherman, later finds out that Nevaeh has the exact same birth date as him, which is really sad because, he is, even to this day, he probably thinks about this every damn day of his life,
sure.
Not to mention his birthday. How are you going to have a good birthday anymore?
Yeah.
When you know that this other little girl that didn't get to see her 6th birthday, didn't even get into kindergarten, born on the same day as you pretty much, is never going to, that's it for her.
Yeah.
And you discover her. So, and it's just really sad even for them. So when you think of this story, you got to think of them too, because they probably think about that every day. Now, this is from the Detroit Free Press, June 5th, 2009. The fisherman told the media that, quote, he felt the ground beneath him give way as he tried to sit down on the riverfront bank. And that's when he noticed. So he calls the police. Now, the third cousin that I pulled some of the information for tonight's story, she does not think the police has done a very good job on this. That seems to be a common theme.
Yeah.
But I will say that it did take 2.5 hours for a policeman to even show up at the scene after the fisherman called and said, hey, you guys are searching for this little girl. Like, I found her. They're all out there searching anyway. And it takes 2.5 hours for them to come. It's just like, man, really?
I know. Like, where's the sense of urgency?
Yeah. So, not only that, the fisherman had to sit there for 2.5 hours with this dead body.
Yeah.
Jesus, freak, and he could, it was already decomposing. He could smell like the decomposition and, it's just not good.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have gotten there quicker. there was a recently burned and empty concrete bag in that fire. Okay, so whoever the perpetrator probably took a cigarette lighter and burned that concrete bag, for evidence sake. Now think about it. Did Nevaeh walk down there on her own? Because if you're carrying her, I mean, she's not that heavy, but you're also carrying a concrete bag. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It almost makes you think there may have been more than one person. Either
that or, young children can be very trusting of adults. And if she was buried alive, then she obviously was over by the river embankment alive. And it was the summer. It was May when she went missing. So maybe they lured her in with some type of ruse and said, did whatever they did. And they said, we're going to go for a swim. And she walked down there and then something terrible happened. You don't know because obviously the case is unsolved, but perhaps she did walk down there by herself because she thought that they were going to go for a swim.
Now, I do want to say that police came out and said there were no broken bones. Well, the autopsy report. The autopsy report came out, no broken bones and no sexual assault, okay?
Well, that's good.
It's like hard to find any silver lining there, but at least there's that.
Okay, so 2 suspects did get arrested on May 25th. Now, this is from the Toledo Blade, May 24th, 2013. 2 sex offenders who were friends with
the mother,
Nevaeh's mother.
Ooh.
Were arrested as, quote, persons of interest. Now, the mother explained that she met one of the men while reporting to her own probation officer. Oh. She had known him for 2 years and never left her daughter with him. Now, I'm going to tell you, this mother...
I would hope not if they're sex offenders.
This mother should get the Mother of the Fucking Year award. Not really.
Over, who is the one that we really had a problem with the burying and the moving of the bodies? The one the Shannon case that we did. Seattle Shannon.
This is a picture of Nevaeh's mother from her Michigan correction mugshot photo.
Let me guess, was she arrested for drugs?
She's arrested for drugs and home invasion.
Huh.
She's a real piece of work. And in fact, I'm posting some links. I'm not a huge Nancy Grace fan, but when this story came out, Nancy Grace tore her a new butthole right there on live TV. And that was like the funniest thing.
And this is before Casey Anthony.
Yeah. Friends with 2 sex offenders. And in the interview, they're talking about, I never let him be alone with my daughter. What the fuck excuse is that?
It shouldn't be in that environment at all.
As soon as you find out he's a sex offender, in fact, both of these men...
Yeah, exactly.
Both of these men were rearrested because they got caught breaking their probation for hanging out with Nevaeh in the first place. They can't hang out with kids. They're sex offenders. And the mother is allowing them, but it's okay because I never leave my daughter along with him.
Were they supplying drugs to her? Like, how did they...
I think the mother's definitely on drugs. She's probably in a drugged out coma right now. I mean, she's probably laying on the fucking floor on heroin.
All right.
Probably don't even remember she had a fucking kid.
Yeah.
But they're all on damn drugs there. Anyway, sorry.
It's tough because she lost a daughter. But if you're putting her in that... let me finish. If you're putting your daughter in that environment...
Number one, she didn't even have custody of her daughter. Her mother did, and she spent most of her daughter's life, about 2.5 years, in prison. So she didn't even know her daughter anyway, pretty much.
That's sad.
It's just, she's a piece of shit. I've seen an interview with her. The biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. Like, don't ever have kids. You're drugged out. You allow 2 sex offenders around your daughter. Are you out of your mind?
Clearly.
Oh my God.
That's not even a question.
Sorry, it's just like, why?
Totally.
And the mother was trying to stick up for the sex offenders because, they got arrested for this. They were later cleared, But the mother was like, no, it can't be. They're good guys. They're good people. Yeah, all right. One of them home invasion and raped a 15-year-old.
Yeah, they're off to a really good start.
Yeah, okay. So anyway.
Model citizens.
Suspect number 1, George Kennedy. According to the Detroit Free Press from May 28, 2009, he's a 39-year-old and friend of the mother, registered sex offender, currently in jail. Now, this is 2009, so both of these guys are walking around the neighborhood right now. They're out, both of them, unless they just got back in for something, I don't know. Charged with statutory rape for having sex. Now, this is a different case. Same guy, different case. He got charged for statutory rape of a 13-year-old.
What is wrong with people?
After he broke into her home and raped her. The search warrant affidavit filed for this suspect, George Kennedy, found blood inside a Monroe motel room that was rented by him and on a few items inside of his van. Of course, he drives a van.
Does it look like the one in our logo?
I think it was... No, it doesn't. It was, I imagine, a white van or something.
Well,
but
a rape van nonetheless?
Yeah, a rape van.
Oh, okay. That still counts.
There was a Leatherman tool that was on the dash on the CD player, and it had blood on it. Now, it was human blood.
This blood?
They did test the blood. It wasn't Nevaeh's, but it was human blood. And that's all that the police came out with it. It's like, okay, well, it's fine. It's not Nevaeh's blood. Who the fuck blood is it?
But yeah.
What the fuck?
But was she bloody?
Let's take this a step further.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't. No broken bones. Nothing.
They could have had another victim.
That's what I said. I said, okay. They said it was human blood.
Can we match this to another cold case?
That's the last I've heard about it. I couldn't find anything about it.
Oh,
it's like, it is human blood, but don't worry, it's not Nevaeh's. So let's move on. Okay, well, what the fuck? At the time, he was violating his parole terms because he was spending time with the mother, quote, the mother, but was also around with the child. In fact, they had a great relationship, okay? Nevaeh actually called him, quote, Daddy George.
Oh, no.
And Daddy George bought her toys and gifts.
Like that.
And that's what the mother said on the interview. He's a good guy. He bought her toys.
He is not a good guy.
He bought her toys and gifts.
He is not a good guy.
Yeah, I wonder why he's buying her toys and gifts.
You know,
he's a fucking sex offender.
Like stranger danger. Honestly, that's how they lure kids. Like, oh, look at this puppy. Look at this toy.
Well, now he's got a level of familiarity with her.
Yeah, you should have just called him Daddy Warbucks.
So if this, kids, they may be aware of the whole stranger danger thing, but
But he wasn't a stranger to her.
Exactly. So it makes it that much easier to lure her out of her, somewhere, because he already has familiarity with her.
But he's a good guy.
He is not a good guy.
And in fact, the mother says, the mother knew about his past rape case, but says, quote, I believe, people should get a second chance. A second chance. Okay. Here's my daughter, my 5-year-old daughter. Here's your second chance. Please don't do anything to her. But I believe that people should get second chances. So you can hang around my 5-year-old daughter even though you're a registered sex offender. Mother of the Year award right here. Okay.
Yeah, very noble of you, honey.
Baby, I can't even see your damn keys anymore.
I like it. I know. I remember. You don't
Can't even see what
memorize
I'm
your
fucking
keys?
typing.
You don't know what your keys
No,
are?
who the fuck
We used
memorizes
to-
their keys?
Oh my gosh! And when in elementary school, we had this game called Sticky Fingers. I think that's what it was called. But it was a typing game, and that way we learned how to type in computer class. And I was not very good at it, but now I'm good at it.
I remember that game.
You know what I'm talking about?
It sounds familiar.
It was like a British man was like the narrator, I think.
That's a Sticky Fingers is a restaurant.
It is. It's pretty good.
I also really loved the computer game that was the math computer game, which was weird because
The adventure one? Where it was like the group of kids and they were in Cairo, Egypt.
No, that's Carmen San Diego.
No, not Carmen San Diego. It's
Yes.
different.
No, it was like
Carmen San Diego is different.
It may have been like little alien creatures, but it was
I
like,
know what you're talking about. I loved that
like
game.
the little levels.
Yes.
You know, move them and get an answer.
Yes,
like,
the
really
levers.
fast.
Yeah.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. That's a badass
Yeah.
game. Yeah, I do know that one.
loved that game.
I can't think of the name of the other one that I'm talking about, but it was math and science, and they were different. I can't think of the name of it. Some taco out there, please help me. It was like a bunch of kids, and it was an adventure.
Math Blasters. That's the game I'm
Yes,
thinking of.
Math Blasters. Math Blasters XL. I think was I think it was XL.
That was a great game, but
That
that's not
sounds
what
like
I'm
a Magic
thinking
Mike
about.
type.
There was one where they were in Egypt. There was one where they were in like the Himalayas.
Math Blasters.
You had to do different math and science questions and reading questions to go throughout the adventure. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't
Oh
remember
my God,
this.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
beginning. That's the
Oh
beginning
yeah,
of the
yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. This is George Kennedy. This is what he looks like. Looks like a real winner.
Oh no,
He looks like he's stoned.
Ew. He looks fucking creepy.
Yeah, well, he needs to be in a hole.
he has a soul patch combined with a Lincoln beard. Chin strap. Soul
Chin
patch.
strap, yeah.
Soul patch chin strap. That's your first warning sign.
All right, so let me tell you the full story according to the third cousin. Now, this is a relative of the mother. Keep that in mind, right? But here's the full story. She was under the care of her mother at the time. Nevaeh started out that day at a friend's house, which was another apartment, but in the same complex. I'm pretty sure it was an upstairs apartment in the same building. You know, they probably had the downstairs and there was the upstairs. How I can see it. Because the mother said in the interview that she went upstairs to the apartment. She started at a friend's house. They were playing outside and eating spaghetti all day. Now her mother's
That sounds like a great day.
her mother's friend, okay, and her mother's friend's young daughter picked Nevaeh up at this house. Okay, so the mother is with her friend and her friend's daughter. They've been friends for a while, and they actually spent the night that night. Okay, so Nevaeh is at her other friend's house. They all walk over to pick up Nevaeh. Okay, you guys following me? The four of them walk to the Kmart, which is actually right there. It's like right, you go through this little path like in the woods, and the Kmart's right there. You come out right at the Kmart. Now, some say that Nevaeh never came back from the Kmart. Okay, I've seen that in multiple sources. All right. Others say they didn't see Nevaeh's mother after they left for Kmart. So you see the different stories here. Mm-hmm. Now, they would have returned about 3:30 or 4 p.m. from Kmart back to the apartment. Now, then the kid that Nevaeh was originally hanging out with and eating spaghetti with said that the mother's friend's daughter came over again to ask him to play and also if he's seen Nevaeh. So the kid that she was playing with earlier, I know it's a lot of mother. The friend of the mother, her daughter goes over there and asks him if he's seen Nevaeh, and he has not.
The mom's friend has not seen Nevaeh?
The kid
the kid.
that Nevaeh was playing with has not seen Nevaeh. At 6 p.m., Nevaeh's mom came back to the apartment to ask them if she could get a ride to her mom's work so she can get her mom's car to go see her mother. Well, you know, Nevaeh's grandmother, okay, which had custody of Nevaeh, you know, most of the time because her daughter is literally in and out of prison. The neighbor actually turned her down, and at 7 p.m., she came back to ask again if anyone could take her, and yet was turned down again. Now, at 8 p.m., now this is completely different. The mother's story has changed a lot. Okay.
I was just going to ask if she's been cleared of any suspicion.
A lot.
Yeah.
No, she is definitely on the radar of.
But this
And in
happened
fact,
10
she actually
years
failed
ago.
a polygraph test. I want to throw that out there.
Oh.
She failed a polygraph test. All right, I'm just going to say that. Now,
Maybe she was tired of having a kid.
That's what I'm thinking. She's
It didn't fit her lifestyle, man. Cramped her style. Right? You getting that vibe?
yeah.
She's a big POS.
Yeah, she is.
In multiple interviews, the mother changes her story completely from what this is. Okay? And says...
Could it have been the fact that she was under the influence of drugs and like doesn't really know what story is the right story?
That sounds plausible to me.
I don't know, but at 8 p.m., the apartment manager came and asked the mom if anyone's seen Nevaeh. He comes, the apartment manager of your apartment complex, and comes and asks the drugged out mother if anyone, including her, has seen her 5-year-old daughter. Okay?
That's a bad look.
And at 8:30 p.m., it's the apartment manager that actually calls the police to report her missing. Okay?
Has the apartment manager been cleared?
Yes. Yeah. The mother says after Kmart, her and her friend, this is crazy. Now, she's 25 at the time. The mother says her and her friend, after they got back from Kmart, they go upstairs to their apartment and watched a marathon of Kate Plus 8 while making prank phone calls.
What?
Yeah, that's what she told police.
Winner!
Yeah.
Wow.
The mother says then Nevaeh came back inside the house and she had an accident, maybe wet herself or whatever.
Do you know if our refrigerator's running?
Should we go catch it?
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time though? Like, I'm thinking about this. Like, she's 25 at the time.
That's like a 10-year-old thing.
Exactly. Like that's. I mean, I would imagine she was under the influence.
Like I distinctly
She had to been
remember.
fucking high.
I distinctly remember my sister when she was 10 years old. She would prank phone call my work. I was working at Subway, and she would prank phone call my manager and use like a voice board.
Yeah.
And one time I was home when she did this, and he picked up and she had the Cookie Monster voice, and he was like, "Do you have cookies?" And he was like, "Yeah, we have cookies."
Oh, no.
And then the next thing was, "What kind of cookie?" And he was like, "Chocolate chip, peanut butter." Like, like he like was, and
Yeah.
then like she kept going, and he was like, "Okay, goodbye." Like, but he actually at first was like,
Yeah.
answering the questions.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The mother says Nevaeh came back inside the house because she had an accident, maybe wet herself or something, got changed and grabbed a popsicle and went back outside. Now, then, which is completely different, her story is completely different. Then another kid knocks on the door and asked if Nevaeh could come out and play, and the mother said she was already outside playing. Okay, this is when they both walked behind the apartment and discovered the empty scooter, which is a completely different story from what everyone else said, but, you know, whatever.
I'm confused because if she was supposed to be upstairs with the friend, right? Whose care was she really in? Who's responsible for the child at that point? Is the mother responsible, or is the friend's mother responsible?
The mother is responsible for her own child. What do you mean?
Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I missed something, so I apologize. But, like, if you set a play date up, let's say, and you let your child go with another parent, go upstairs to the other apartment with the other parent, assuming that the other parent is watching your child, would that other parent not be responsible for your child?
But there wasn't a play date. She literally...
The child just took off and went upstairs. There wasn't like,
No,
okay,
she
are you gonna-
told...
I don't think anyone was watching.
No one's watching her. She's just out in the street playing in the road with her
Okay.
scooter.
I think yes, if there was somebody that was like, okay, like great, you're watching the kids. I'm gonna go upstairs and do my own thing or whatever. Then yeah, whoever said that they were watching the kids, I would say is responsible. But I don't think anybody was watching them.
Okay.
I think they were both like, okay, go play, and neither of them are watching.
Okay,
them,
all right. That's where I was misunderstood.
All right.
right. They were both neglectful because one of them.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, if you're hanging out with a druggy mother, you're probably a druggie yourself.
yeah,
and, you know,
it's
anyway.
probably not the best of your life.
Now, From the Toledo Blade, May 28th, 2009. The last two children to see the girl on Sunday claimed that she went into the woods and was kidnapped by a bad man and was stabbed in the stomach, according to the search warrant. One of the children, now this is from the Toledo Blade. One of the children said she witnessed Nevaeh being stabbed with a knife and tried to help but could not after she saw the girl going into the woods to meet Daddy George.
But there were no stab wounds on the girl when she was found. So the emphasis is that she was going to meet Daddy George.
Right.
This is from a commenter I read on one of the forums that also grew up around that area. I grew up in Monroe and live there now. Although I wasn't there at the time of the kidnapping, everyone around here thinks George, the first sex offender, was responsible. In fact, some kids that were playing with her in the Charlotte Arms parking lot were reported as saying that they saw George take her, but they were then said to be unreliable witnesses or something similar. Now, this is another poster. I know someone who used to work with Nevaeh's grandmother up at the local grocery store. It's my understanding that it was she who had legal custody of the child, not Nevaeh's mother. Breaks my heart, but the first few times the, quote, mother would watch Nevaeh, she would come into the store to tell her grandma she was hungry. It was rumored around Monroe that this sweet soul paid the ultimate price for her mom's drug debt. I cannot prove this, nor will it bring her back, but my heart has always ached for this poor, sweet, innocent child. The interview from the cousin says this is what she believes. Now, she started this Facebook group, the Justice for Nevaeh, which now that I think about it, I mean...
What are you thinking? Shouldn't a mom start a Facebook group like that?
No, I think someone that is not related to the family should do it. Because I think the mom was involved.
Well, that's what I was... No, I think
So the cousin is probably... Anyway.
I think under normal circumstances, the person who is closest to the person would start something like that. But in this case, that should be the mom, but it's not. It's the cousin.
Here's her theory. She says that George, the sex offender that was good friends with the mother, they hung out all the time, right, was set up because the body was actually found in the spot where locals know that George fishes all the time, the exact spot. He probably owed money or something, and to set him up for revenge, somebody did this, which doesn't make any damn sense. Think about it.
This is the cousin?
The cousin, the third cousin is saying this, that this George guy was set up completely, and whoever kidnapped her buried her there in order to kind of frame the sex offender George. It doesn't make any sense. And in fact, the third cousin, in the interview, she also said this. The spot where she was buried, okay, she said the tide usually rises, and it was most likely she was buried there so the tide would take her out to Lake Erie. Okay, so she contradicted herself in the same interview. It's stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? The cousin, yeah. So I think the mother's involved. I don't know. I think this whole thing is just reeks right here. So that's the river. You see, it's like straight downhill. That's where her body was found. Now, the concrete mix wasn't even properly poured. That's why it didn't stick together. It was literally poured on top of the girl, but it didn't dry right because they didn't mix it right. This is where she was found. There's the beer can. So someone just threw a beer can in there, probably to get police off the track. But if it was someone trying to frame George Kennedy, the sex offender, why would they throw the beer can in there? That wouldn't frame him very much because his fingerprints ain't on the damn beer can.
Whose is?
Well, it was that random guy that was fishing there 2 days earlier. That's what I'm saying. I think George Kennedy did this. I mean, everything in all the research I did reports is one dude. And the other suspect that I didn't even mention, they were friends. So him and this other suspect, the other suspect, his name is Roy Smith. Now, this from the Toledo Blade, May 28, 2009. Roy Lee Smith, 48, served time for a 1991 conviction of criminal sexual conduct. So he's also a sex offender. According to
the mom's other friend?
Yeah. According to the affidavit, Smith gave the bloody van to George Kennedy. So they are friends. These two sex offenders are good friends, best friends. And they're also friends with the mother. Okay? And the cousin comes out. This is what drove me crazy about the interview. She was like blasting the media, like everyone's putting all this emphasis on these sex offenders and that it's not them. I don't know, man. I've done a lot of research and it seems like it's them.
Yeah. Agreed.
You know, I mean, I don't really like they haven't came out and said, okay, it can't be them. They had a solid alibi.
Right.
Where are the police? Okay, I'll tell you where the police are. From the Toledo Blade, May 24, 2013, Detective Joseph Hammond of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office said tips have dwindled down to about 1 per month. That's 2013. They're probably 0 per month now.
Yeah.
We just came up May 24th on the anniversary of this, yeah. The police ain't doing shit. I'm sorry, but they ain't. Did they even get an alibi from these guys? The mother failed the polygraph test. Why has this case completely gone cold? For what reason? I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm pissed. I don't know.
I really honestly think that it was something to do with the mother.
I think it could have involved multiple parties.
Oh yeah, I don't think she acted alone.
But the mother was with her friend all day.
But could have been with her.
The other friend could have, while she was with one friend, she could have been with the other friend. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know? Like I said, 5-year-olds, they're very trusting. And if she wasn't bruised or bloodied or harmed in any other way other than being buried alive, which I'm not saying, oh, she was just buried alive. I'm saying that there were no other marks on her body, that it leads me to believe that she was with someone that she knew and trusted.
Yeah, Daddy George.
So,
but they say that he's cleared. I don't think he's cleared. I mean, where are the police, man? Why did it take them 2.5 hours to get there in the first place? I don't know. It's like this case is like so cold.
And
it's like frozen.
It seems solvable.
Yeah, it seems solvable.
Wow. It's really sad.
But that's the story of Nevaeh, 5-year-old that got her life ripped away from her.
I just think it's awful that she most likely died alone. Yeah. You know, I don't think that a killer would have stayed to watch her die after pouring concrete on her.
Yeah.
This poor little 5-year-old, innocent little child.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, wake up, police. You guys want to solve this? You guys want to put someone in prison? You have 2 sex offenders just walk around, they're free now. They're probably on drugs right now thinking about, oh, you see her? I know she's only 13, but she looks hot. I'm going to break into her house and rape her.
I just don't understand how anyone can harm a child.
Like, they're out of prison now, doing their thing.
I just don't understand. Like, it just makes me so upset.
I know.
And whose blood was in the van?
I know.
They came out and said, it is human blood. No, don't worry, everyone. Media, please. Everyone calm down. It's not Nevaeh's.
It's not this 5-year-old.
Well, who the
but it could
fuck
be
is it? Like, what the fuck? Whose is it? You know?
It's bizarre.
What the fuck?
There are people that struggle to have children all they want is to have a child and they can't conceive, and maybe they can't afford adoption or fostering, and there are people out there like this that will do this to this child. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't.
Well, I wanted to do this case because I wanted this to be an open discussion. So go to talkmurder.com and look for this post of Nevaeh and, read the post. I'm putting all my sources, everything I can there, everything I found. And if you found anything else that I may have missed, please comment. Please, let's get this discussion going because no one else is talking about this, and it is solvable. No one in the world is talking about this. I mean, literally on the forums, the last postings came from like 2009. What the shit? Like, why did people just give up on this? All right, guys. If you really enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button on whatever podcasting app you use. If you really like this episode, follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you're absolutely obsessed with this podcast and want to become our stalker, go to talkmurder.com/join. Become a Talko Supremo. Get a badass t-shirt, sticker, swag, a lot of love, shout it out all over the place. Tell me what story you may do. I'll research it, dedicate it to you. Every Thursday, Talk Murder Me podcast. My name is John, here with Jen and Nicole. And until next time,
Please keep an eye on your children.
it was also mixed with cement. Can I just say cement?
It sounds really weird.
Ah, shit. It was also mixed with cement mixed. It was also mixed with cement mix. All right. Now, I know all these things are.
I was asking a question.